What is up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to World of Tanks, and once again I welcome you back to the 1.1 test server. And in today's episode I am going to give you a little tour around all the new maps that are coming with update 1.1, including Minsk, Studzianki and Pilsen. Now Pilsen is one of those maps that we already had in the game but has been reworked into the HD quality with some differences, some balancing and reworks. But Minsk and Studzianki are two completely new maps, so let's get going. And let's start with Studzianki, or however you have to pronounce it. And on the background you can hear the intro soundtrack and the battle soundtrack after that. I am going to let you know when soundtrack changes. But the official description about this map from Wargaming is, it is not based on any historical location in particular, but inspired by the great battle near Studzianki. This map combines open spaces with some crawling spots. Yes, it has many different fighting positions for all vehicle classes. The location encompasses large fields, lots of vegetation, small village houses centered around a tall church. In the dead center of the map we have a small brick factory that will become an important point of interest during the course of a battle. So let's take a look, and I'm actually going to activate the minimap as well so you can actually see where I am at. So we have in random battle mode we have two bases. We have eastern base and western base. So let's start from the eastern base, I guess. So this is where you guys spawn at, and in the base tank destroyers, for example, like where that Guerrilla 15 is, people do not have to move that much because they have, most likely they have a lot of sniping opportunities right from the get-go. For example, that Guerrilla 15 has done a lot of damage to that Super Conqueror that is in the middle in the ditch, but I think Guerrilla should not be able to see him unless he pokes out. But it is really good starting position for light tanks. You can see some pushes over here. You can hide your light tank, you can park your light tank maybe over here without getting spotted. So it is kind of a like Malinovka starting. Huge open field in the middle of the map. So from the south side we have that church surrounded by little housing. Little houses, a bridge, once again that river that runs across the map, almost across the map, to that brick factory. I guess this is the brick factory they were talking about. I actually haven't been fighting over here, so I do not know too much about the strategy, and the meta game is going to evolve itself, I would say so. But what I have seen over here usually are a couple heavy tanks, light tanks, maybe even some more aggressive tank destroyers like version 4. Object likes to be everywhere anyway. And the western base also has that sniping hill from the base, so both sides they do not have to move too much to do some crazy damage right from the get-go. Now north side, this brick factory seems to be fighting position for a heavy tanks. Yeah, in every single battle I have played around 4 battles over here, and in every single battle you can see many heavy tanks over here fighting versus other heavy tanks. AMX 13-105 got himself trapped into this brick factory as well. But the really interesting position, in my opinion, is the northwest part. Over here I would say tanks that have at least -8 degrees of gun depression are going to excel really good, are going to do some really good work. Object 277 might be in a bit of trouble, but luckily, as we can see, not too many tank destroyers are helping this position out. Usually, I guess this is going to be the problem as well. Tank destroyers, they like to get easy first damage, so they are going to sit over there more often than not in the base. But it seems to be a really interesting position. Not too much Arctic cover actually. Yes, you have some slopes here and there, but Arctic can easily curve over it, so you have to look out for the artillery. But this part reminds me Prokhorovka. So this entire map is Malinovka mixed with Prokhorovka and maybe some village area. Reminds me, I don't know what that reminds me. Ooh, and as you can see, one tank destroyer was actually supporting the north side, so you have to look out for that position. So that railroad really reminds me Prokhorovka, that is splitting the north part of the map. So this is brand new Studzianki, or however you have to pronounce it. Let me know what you think about this map in the comments, please. And moving on to the next map. And our next brand new map is Minsk, and the official description about this map is, as we all know, Minsk is a city that is close to the heart of wargaming. After all, the company was founded in the Belarusian capital. The new map creates the city center at the beginning of the 1970s, so some things have been adjusted for the sake of gameplay. If you have visited Minsk, landmarks will be instantly recognizable. If not, just take a little tour around this virtual city and dive into the past. So let's take a look what this map has to offer, and right away we can see something completely new. Have you ever seen jets and helicopters flying around in front of tanks? No, I actually do not think we have seen helicopters and jets before. So at first let's take a look at those helicopters that are flying around, those gunships I should actually say, because those are most definitely gunships, and I was trying to shoot them down as well, just in case. Soon you are going to see my shot. Come on, take it already. I'm over there, and boom, almost a hit, but not quite. And before we take a little tour around this map, let's take a look at those jets as well I was talking about. Sadly no jet sound effects at the moment, but don't worry guys, there are jet sound effects as well. I simply had to pause the video and the sound effects disappeared. But the one weird thing about those jets is I didn't actually know that in 1970s we had autopiloting jets. As you can see, no one is inside the cockpit besides me at the moment. So now I am playing World of Warplanes in World of Tanks. That is actually not super bad looking, I have to say, being inside the jet. Not bad. But now let's take a little tour around Minsk and let's see what this map has to offer. Right away you can see that massive river in the middle of the map, and we have actually 4 bridges where you're able to cross it. So one is over there, a little one over there, big one here in the middle of the map, and another one over there. But there are 6 legit ways how you're able to cross it in total. As you can see, we have shallower area in the northern base and another one near to the southern base. So, and you can hear the jet sound effect once again. Where the hell are you guys? I don't know, quite hard to spot them, but at least you were able to hear the sound effects. But I guess those shallower crossing areas are really good for light tanks, for early spottings, maybe. But now let's move into the east side of the Minsk. Over here, this reminds me Ensk a bit, some housing, a lot of artillery cover, so I think maybe we can classify it as another city map. Yeah, even though there is one super open area in the middle of the map. I would say majority of the map is open, but all the fighting areas are covered with housing. And quite tall houses, so not the best map for artillery. Over here we have one statue. Let's take a look at it. Clean design, 1941 to 1945. So here is the statue. But overall I would say that eastern side is for the heavy tanks and western side is for faster heavies slash medium tanks. Usually this is what I have seen at least, although we have 1705 over here as well. Simply because you have to actually drive some distance to get into the western part of the map. But definitely you need to invest some forces, otherwise your heavy tanks are going to be flanked. In the middle it has some terrain differences. You can see you can be up and down. One really interesting position where I found one TVP at in one battle was under this bridge. Sneaky TVP was able to deal a lot of damage from that little position, and you are 100% RT Shadow as well. So if you would like to be 100% RT Shadow, then you can stay under this little passenger passage, I guess. But this is the map called Minsk. In my opinion, it looks really beautiful and pretty. I like that epic river in the middle of the map, all the houses. It looks one pretty map. But how it plays, I would say we simply have to wait for the live server, because on the test server almost all the players are playing a bit more recklessly. Anyway, let me know what you think about it. Moving on into the final new map. And finally, let's take a look at the map that we already had in the game prior 1.0, Pilsen. It has been reworked into the HD quality and they made it a bit bigger as well. Previously it was 800 by 800 meters, but now it is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, so it is quite significantly bigger. So from here you can right away understand where I am. I am in the southern base. I would say this building is exactly the same, this one as well, that middle bigger building is almost exactly the same, this one is the same, but the biggest difference in my opinion is the distance between those two industrial buildings. This is quite significantly bigger now, and I would say it plays out 10 times better. Previously it was way too much camping between two different buildings. You can see they are more open now, so it should equal less camping. And now the west side, I would say it's almost exactly the same. Now you are simply not able to get into this building through a little door that we had before. Let's see if the other side is the same. Let's see if they removed it. Yes, they removed the door from the other side as well. So now you have only two entries. You can enter from the north side and you can enter from the east side. And of course south side as well. Plus from now on you are able to flank around this building. This should help you flanking all those guys that are inside that building or on the other side, depending on where you start from. And let's take a look at the sniping hill. So previously we had a lot of STRVs sniping from this position where I am at the moment, or from here. Now I would say they actually improved it a bit. Yep, most definitely they improved it a bit. You have super clear vision if anything whatsoever is trying to flank your guys or is trying to peek somewhere over there. You are easily able to punish them. Okay, so, and maybe this is good position for artilleries as well. On the other side we have M53, 55, let's take a look where this guy is. Okay, they made this position balanced, I would say, or this part of the map balanced, because south side is as tall as the northern side and has some pushes over here. So yeah, I can say they actually made it quite balanced, but most definitely you have to look out for artillery fire and tank destroyer fire. Now another big thing that they tuned in this part of the map is located over here, and I love it, I freaking love it. Previously it was completely covered with rubble, you were not able to cross it, but in my opinion after they made it open, after you are able to move into that big storage building and move away from it, it opens up so many more plays. And in my opinion at least it is good for the gameplay, but we have to wait and see. But now let's move on into the eastern side of the map, and it is unrecognizable, guys. I really didn't recognize this. It is almost 100% different. We have so many more little hills, little bumps here and there, and it actually reminds me of fjords a bit, mixed with steps. I think steps, those mining machines remind me steps, and railroad as well, like that part reminds me steps. You know, you can cross it, artillery can easily hide behind it, and over here you can be sneaky with your light tanks. T100LT can be super sneaky over here, you can flank all the enemy tanks, but this part of the map I would say is for medium tanks, for light tanks as well, maybe for faster heavy tanks that have some counter-pression as well at the same time. I have to say I really like this new Pilsen. I cannot wait to see how it works out, how it plays, and I would even go so far saying with update 1.1 we are going to get 3 brand new maps, because it looks completely different, and most likely it plays completely different as well. We have many sneaky positions over there. You can sneak yourself behind enemy lines behind that building. Middle is a lot more sneaky, more passages and so on. So yeah, I simply cannot wait to see how this map plays out. It looks a lot better, it looks a lot bigger, like surrounding. Just look at it, guys. It is beautiful. It is quite stunning, isn't it? I really like what they did to the surrounding with update 1.0. It gives 10 times better feel on the battlefield. And this was my episode for you today, a little tour around 3 brand new maps coming with update 1.1. Pilsen, Studzianki and Minsk. Let me know what you think about those maps in the comment section down below. I catch you next time with something else. Stay awesome, take care and bye.